Welcome back. Hi. Good to see everybody again. Welcome back to Killing Crickets. Cause yeah, see, I know you probably noticed on the first two episodes we kind of just went, hey, welcome back to the thing.
Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, right. Because we didn't know. So we decided Killing Crickets is the name. Brian Shinanigan here with me, and we decided on Killing Crickets because I know for me crickets has always been a thing. I mean, as a comedian, like that would always be, just a persistent factor. It's a fact of life as a comedian that you get to know crickets. They become a part of your life that you're trying to exterminate as you develop as a comedian. You're trying to just stamp out some crickets. It's like, and the better you get at comedy, the fewer crickets you got infesting your life. And
less sounds of silence, Cav. That's what it is. And you want to be a killer, so we're trying to kill them crickets. We're trying to be good at comedy, not have the silence. And I think that works for us here.
It's such a thing for comedians. Like it's such a sound associated with comedy because and failure comedy. It's like my daughter, she has a fucking bearded dragon now, which I'm sure I've mentioned before. But like sometimes, like instead of the fucking dubia roaches or whatever, they'll get crickets. And it's like they'll, you hear them, going, purr, 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 and I'm like, that's the worst thing you can have in the home of a comedian. It's just like, I mean, because now everything I say that when I'm in the kitchen is followed by purr. It's like, yeah, I guess that wasn't funny either. But I was just all I was saying was I'm gonna cook dinner. But I'm getting chirps.
I'm gonna get chirped at home.
It's the worst, man. Because it really is. It's like silence is one thing, but it's like silence with chirps is like. It's just rubbing it in. Their crickets are such dicks.
It's like It's like when the smoke alarm is low battery and that thing just goes beep. Beep.
Seriously, that drives me crazy because there's so many especially if you're shooting fucking YouTube videos or something, buy a fucking 9-volt, please. Yeah. Like, why are you why is that in the background? There's so many videos I'll watch people put together and you just they're talking many people think Oswald didn't act a little. Really? That doesn't bother you because it bugs the fuck out of me. Or if I go to somebody's house, or even if I'm talking to you on the phone, fucking get a 9-volt, please. I can't. Which it drives me nuts that they can do that. I mean, if it's got enough battery power to fucking chirp, then shut the fuck up.
Yeah, it should be fine.
Stupid.
It should
smoke
be fine.
detector. It's like I don't need you. I can smell it.
I can smell it until that one time I don't.
The guy who dies really crispy. Yeah, it's back here at Wise Guys in Las Vegas. I just for me it's like I'm taking this opportunity. I think that's what I came to last week with is I'm because I've gone back through a lot of the caplets that I've done here at Wise Guys since, and the the production value is it's less than industry standard. Let's say that it's shit. And plus a lot of it is
I like how you said it's less than industry standard. They're like, yeah, it's shit. And I'm like, why didn't you spell it out there?
Why didn't I just say it's shit? It is. I mean, a lot of them, especially the sound is bad on a few of them. Because I was trying to go with the lavalier mic and shit like that. I was just trying to, because I couldn't get hardwired into the board. We got everything worked out for this.
Yeah.
Brian's come to the rescue here on that. So
we're dialed in, baby. Good sound, good video.
Yeah, you're my one-man geek squad. I love it. I appreciate that shit. But I wanted to plus a lot of the bits that I've done, on this sort of run of caplets that I've started shooting here at Wise Guys in Vegas. A lot of those bits they've actually hung around in my set, and I've worked them and they've actually gotten more refined, a lot better. And I'm like, what? Why don't I work some of those back into this mix? While I'm doing other new stuff too. So so I'm I think I got a pretty decent set in mind for tonight.
No, I'm the same. Honestly, I'm kind of at the same mind of you. It's just I'm going back to some of the stuff that's like a year, 2 years old. Some stuff that I forgot about, and I'm like, you know, I'm a better comedian now. Let me go back to this bit.
Seriously, yeah.
And give a little rewrite, give a little touch up, or it's like, you know, I could never get that bit to work. Let me try it tonight. You know, so
that's the thing. Like as a comedian, it's always a thing like where you know once you get to, you know, I mean, I've been in it 25, almost 26 years, and it's like, you know, or wait, no. Is it
27 or 27?
Almost 26, yeah. And but it's been, you know, like when I look back at a lot of my bits from like my first special, or you know, when I was even my first like half-hour special, or when I was on the Vince Vaughn Wild West thing, you know, you look back at it, you're like, oh, those were good bits, and I really wish I had those back now. Like, because you're like, because you know, you become like, you know, you feel like you're a better comic, and you could do more justice to a lot of those bits as a, you know, a more seasoned comedian. And it's like shit, I shouldn't have wasted that, you know, getting to this point. But it's like it makes you want to go back and like do more justice to that. And so while I have an opportunity with a lot of these caplets, because especially the ones that are really shitty on the video and audio, I doubt anybody's watched them anyway. No, yes. So it's
nobody's gonna notice the refresh.
Yeah, right. Exactly. No, nobody's watching my 144p. So it's
especially on their cell phone or something.
Yeah,
like, goddamn.
I was sending those via text to my wife to upload, and that's what fucked them up, I think. So
we're fixing it all, folks.
Yeah,
that's what we're here for.
Gradually. But yeah, that's where I'm at for tonight. We got a couple more people that we're getting on. It's a couple new people who haven't been on here before, so you're in for a treat with Killing Crickets, episode 3. It's gonna be fun.
Stay tuned. Live comedy.
Yeah,
keep watching.
Stay tuned. I don't know if you tune in really at this point, but if you're tuning in,
keep watching.
Get a better computer. Man, I got to go to the airport tonight and pick up my wife and daughter. They went to Florida for a week to visit my father-in-law's birthday, and I don't go because I don't travel for leisure. And well, plus we got too many fucking animals. I got to be back to take care of our fucking livestock at home. I mean, we should just be buying cats on a roll. You know, all right, here, kitten, and. But yeah, it's like every day. Like now, it's on me. Like every day. Like I mean, I don't have my wife dividing the labor with me, so it's like every day I gotta fucking, you know, like I gotta take care of all the animals. I wake up every day, fucking, you know, I gotta feed the dogs, clean out the litter boxes, fucking milk the rabbits. You know, I got a lot of shit to do. And I mean, my daughter just got a bearded dragon. What a fucking terrible pet that is, right? You know, like why do you have that shit? It's fucking awful. I mean, like they like the people from like the reptile store like came and built like a habitat for him and everything, and that's fucking awful. You open that shit, it's like, it's like a homeless guy pulling his pants down. You know, it's like like remember the well of souls from Raiders of the Lost Ark? It smells like the well of assholes. It's just this waft of fucking lizard shit that you get. But like I open this thing up every day. I just throw fucking bugs at him because I'm not fucking, because my daughter and my wife, they do it with the like long forceps. Like they take like these little fucking, because you know, of course they can't eat a dead bug because ew, I guess, and fucking assholes. I mean, like they pick them up with forceps and they have to dip them in this fucking calcium dip. Like imagine that. Like imagine you're getting fed to a monster. You know, it's bad. Now you're like, are you dipping me in ketchup right now? What the fuck? Like this is fucking awful. But yeah, they're on their way home tonight. I gotta go pick them up. My wife actually wanted to go on a cruise too with her sister, and I was like, no, like we have a daughter, and you know we need to both be around, and I ain't that healthy, you know. So because people fucking disappear from cruise. I don't know if you've seen that. Like people disappear from cruise liners a lot. Like they just fucking vanish. Which you know they of course the cruise liners, they can't admit that they did anything wrong, you know. It's like somebody, they even have camera footage, like somebody fucking just falls overboard or something. They're like, yeah, I think it was a grizzly bear. You know, okay, that makes sense. But That scares me to death, the idea of getting fucking swept out to sea. I'm afraid of the ocean, man. Like getting stuck out there in the water by your...
Hi, guys. Oh, my name is Brian Shinanigan. And I love being this comedian guy. I love being this job because it allows me to be out at night. I like being out at night. And it lets you meet people on the streets. And sometimes those people are ladies. Which allows me to play my favorite Las Vegas game, which is homeless, hooker, or horny. Huh? Huh? You guys have played this game, I see. I think we've all ran into the hookers here, but it's a lovely time. But, man, I was out here outside Wise Guys the other night. You know, me and another comedian talking, and this lady comes up to me. I see her coming, and I'm like, she ain't horny. You know, she comes up, and she's like, I will suck your dick for some meth. I'm like, God damn, does this look like the body that meth built? You know what I'm saying? Like, do I look like the meth guy? You know, I got all my teeth. Like, I'm very girthy. You know, not me. But I didn't know what to say to her. I'm just like, oh, fresh out. Sorry. You know, like next time I go to the meth ATM, I'll let you know. You know what I'm saying? But.
How's everybody doing, Wise Guys? All beautiful? Great? Wonderful time. I feel like social media has totally fucked up everybody's perception of reality. You know, like, I'll give you an example. My sister just had a baby. Shout out to my sister. Like, back in the day, you would be like, all right, call up and, like, want to go and meet the baby and stuff like that. But, like, in our day and age now, the first thing that you actually do is go on social media to verify, right? That's what you do. I was like, hey, if you didn't post it on Instagram, were you ever even really pregnant, Rebecca? She's like, I totally fucking was. You met the child. I'm like, how do I know that wasn't just an actor? Like a crisis actor baby. Seen videos on Rumble. I'm pretty sure it's a real thing, you know? Or like, you know, you meet the baby and it looks totally different than like what you saw online. You're like, holy shit, that is a goblin child. You just pumped out a goblin child. It's like, wait a second. You were using the cute baby filter online, you lying sack of shit. Like, everything is fake. Everything is fake and crazy. It's totally, totally nuts.
All right. Robby Aces, thanks for joining us on Killing Crickets. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you very much for having me, the both of you. This is awesome.
How'd you feel about your set?
I was nervous because it's new stuff that I
Okay.
like.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Wrote today, but it seemed like it went okay so far.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. I'll just say it. I think your set was much funnier than the crowd gave it credit for.
Oh, well, thank you.
Because I really thought like it was a lot of really just smart premises and really smart punchlines, and it really was good. And they're not awake yet or something, but
they're so tight.
They don't know what they missed.
Yeah,
it was I really liked the stuff you did about the what you were saying about politics and like about just the different kind of idiot, and that's very funny. But I also noticed too I mean, how do you feel about doing political humor at all? Is it?
I've mostly shied away from it.
Yeah.
Like, because I know, especially like in the period of time we live in, like it seems like people clamp up very, very tight.
Oh, you
with
lose one or the other half of the room.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like in my civilian life, like I care about that shit. So I'm like, well, why shouldn't I start trying to?
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like a lot of times, I've felt like it's my job as a comedian. This is what we do is we talk about we're supposed to be talking about the truth and talking about what's uncomfortable and everything. And sometimes it's like, well, do I want to get that uncomfortable? Because you realize it's like as soon as you roll that ball out there, people are just gonna get really uptight. Because like I noticed when you said in your setup when you were talking about somebody cut off their dad, and you went because he voted for because he voted a certain way, and it was like you didn't even want to say he voted for Trump.
I didn't want to say the word.
Because it's like, you know what? I don't even want to fucking open that can of worms. I know.
And I wrote it in the notebook when I was writing that today, but I didn't say it. I like hedged the bet.
I mean, you have to. We all know. Yeah. I mean, it's like that had to be the way that went, and it's like no, you just don't want to start it up because it really is like. I mean, you know, yeah, you have the Trump supporters who are, you know, they're a fun bunch, aren't they? Like they're gonna make themselves known, which can be. I've obviously had issue before with having projectiles thrown at me.
But the throwing incident.
Sure. It's such a wonderful moment in my career. But you know, but there's also like it seems like even if they're not Trump supporters, the people who are kind of afraid of the Trump supporters are worried like, oh God, don't piss them off. So they get really quiet too anyway. So it's like
they don't want to laugh too loud because no.
And I've always hated that, you know, the idea that, you know, people think like if you make a joke that's like if it's anti-Trump, suddenly they think you're pro-Biden or what you're, you know, if you're anti-Republican, you're pro-Democrat. It's like no.
Yeah.
I hate them all. I think they all suck, exactly, people. Exactly. And it's really so there's it can be it kind of steals a lot of the experience away from comedy, and I hope we get that back at some point. I hope people fucking lighten up. You know,
but I mean, I thought it was a good set.
I thought you had a great set.
And I can always tell because I've seen you do a lot of comedy. I can always tell when you have a new thing because you're wordsy. Because you're
definitely.
You're such an economy of words guy.
Yeah,
your writing and stuff is usually so tight. In that middle, I was like, he's finding the next part of this joke. You know, like you were just a little too wordsy.
100%.
Yeah, but that's first time for all day. But it's
I tend to giggle a lot, and I hate it because I watch it back and I'm like, will you fucking stop giggling?
I say no.
It's like when you're trying to find because you're trying to find your balance and you're trying to find your words and trying to get. Okay, where am I going with this? So it's like you're basically sifting away all the extra words that are just like, yes, you just have to sift through the shit to find the diamond,
punches,
I guess.
Yeah,
but,
to find your beats.
Yeah. How long have you been doing comedy?
Stand up. This is now going into. It'll be year 8.
Year 8. Okay.
In November.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm impressed.
Oh, thank you.
Really good, really good stuff, man. It's just really smart writing, really great delivery, man. And I hope you come back on with us because I like to see where that stuff, how that evolves too. Like when you scrape away a lot of the words, I guess.
Oh yeah, that was the start. We like to see where it ends. You know,
I so overwrite like the first draft of it.
Do you write actually like? Do you actually like type it out or write it out like before you go on, or you?
I write it out in a notebook.
You do?
Yeah.
Really?
And then
so when you go on stage, are you trying to remember what you wrote down, or you?
Sometimes like this set, I definitely was because I was like, all right, I had a place I was going after this thing.
Right.
So, tonight I definitely was.
Okay. Yeah, see, that for me, it's always been like, I found that when I wrote it out too much and then I tried to, it's almost like the audience could smell me reciting, you know? So it's like I basically just have topic headings and then try to figure it out from there. But it's always interesting to find how other people do it. And I just really thought it was very, very, very... very smart point of view, man. Really good stuff.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
I always love your writing, dude. Like I said, you're one of my favorite writing comedians because you still have a beef bouillon joke. I don't know if you do it anymore.
Oh,
but
once in a while
sticks with me when you're like just the way you say beef bouillon, and I'm like, man, he had the balls to throw that in a fucking joke. Like I'll take it. I'll take it. It's good stuff.
Well, you're a naturally funny guy. I mean, really, and you're just your voice and your delivery is great, and I don't think enough comedians wear lion shirts. So I'm happy to see that too.
I'm glad you noticed. Like that's kind of become a thing.
Man, I don't want to just let that go. Just have you come in here and walk out and nobody appreciate your lion shirt, man. Right. So yeah,
it's like the power shirts. It's like, all right, I'm trying new shit. I better wear a shirt that says confident.
It does, man. It's awesome. That's awesome. But anyway, thanks for being with us, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks so much, Brian.
Yeah.
Robby Aces, follow him online, and we'll be back in a bit.
Yeah.
And people, like, especially during the pandemic, Everybody, like, social media, like, I felt like pressured people, like, pushed people to, like, be as divisive as possible with everybody. Like, folks were, like, canceling real-life relationships with family members over politics and stuff like that, which I thought was, like, very, very dumb, Like, I had a friend that was like, yeah, I cut my dad off, just before Thanksgiving, because he voted a certain way in the last election, and I don't need that energy around me. I'm very, very disappointed. And I'm like, holy shit, pal, you're pushing 40, you still make $13 an hour, and you still collect Pokemons. I think he's just as disappointed in you as you are in him. I don't think it's like it's dumb. It's dumb to me. Like, it's like, did they stab your dog? No, they just had a difference of opinion. That's stupid to cancel people over that, Because just because someone has different opinions than you, that doesn't mean that they're an idiot. That just means they're a different kind of idiot than you are. That's all that fucking means. There's a lot of crazy things going on in the world. There's been, UFOs and train derailments and all this kind of shit. So I got friends that are a little conspiratorial. They think that this might be the end times. And I don't know if I exactly believe that or not, but I do admit sometimes I lie awake at night wondering, what if it is the end times and Jesus comes back, and he comes back on a Sunday, and he's really hungry for a fucking chicken sandwich. All right, you guys have been amazing. I'm Robby Aces. Have a good night.
How we doing tonight, guys? We doing all right? How we doing, my ghost? Are we? There's spirits in here. I could feel it. Guys, I bought some platforms, right? And they raised me up about 2 inches. So it just taught me one thing. I'm better than everybody now. So feels great. I'm like, this is what 5'6" feels like. This is the life. I miss a couple of things about being short, you know what I mean? Like, when a girl drops her keys, boom, I'm right there. Boom. Like, sometimes I can get it before it even hits the floor, you know what I mean? So I work for the post office. That's my other job. And I don't mind telling people that I work for the post office. The only thing is I get these looks, right? Is like, oh, this guy's probably a loser, probably stupid, like steals. Like, I read your letters, so I know what you guys are saying. Don't deny it. I like working for the post office. The only thing is they do a lot of drug tests, and I don't like that. Not because I do drugs, it's just I hold my pee a lot. Yeah, like too much, because it burns. And I don't know why I got the big Red Bull, like. And so here's the other thing too about like my job is a little known fact that I didn't know until recently is as a postal employee, I can go through all of your mail, right? As long as the supervisor doesn't see me. And I'm learning new things every day is what I'm saying, guys. It's nice. It's quite nice.
Good. Welcome back to Killing Crickets. We in the studio is this a studio? In the green room with us here, wise guys. We have Chris Spring.
Hey guys, what's up? My name's Chris Spring. That's a real name.
Thanks for joining us. Very, very funny set. First time I actually got to watch your set. Last time we were supposed to be on, and we got detained somehow. I don't know if something fucked up, but
no worries.
But very funny. So you actually work with the Postal Service?
I do, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
and what do you do with the Postal Service?
I'm what they call a mail handler. Basically, I just do all the pushing and pulling.
Okay.
And occasionally I'll ride on the forklift and, mostly hang out in the bathroom and wait till my next break.
Done. So basically, you work in the. You're not like out there carrying or anything like that, out in the front with
I would have quit years ago if that were the case. When people go, you got my mail in the back. I'm in the back with their mail.
Yeah,
that's me.
Man, that's. I mean, there's a lot of. It's a relatable thing because I mean, my last day job was cutting grass at golf courses. which isn't yours has better benefits, I'm sure. But it's but it really is. It's a source. It's definitely a source that you want to continue to mine for comedy because it really does. It's the thing that'll, for that first place that you want to get in comedy, taking, basically your day job, your real life shit that you had to do, making comedy out of that's very important because it really does it tells everybody who you are. How long have you been doing comedy?
Consistently these last probably 5 years since I came to Vegas.
Okay. Yeah, where are you from originally?
California.
Okay.
Originally I'm from Pacoima.
Okay.
Which is like in the valley.
I heard of that when I lived in LA for 20 years, so I heard of Pacoima. I never had a reason to go there.
Nobody has a reason to go there.
There's no reason to live there.
Same with my hometown. Trust me, it's not a tourist spot, but it was it's really funny set. Yeah, fuck tall people. I think is that part of that you feel like that's part of your you feel like that's part of your voice really is like, do you think you'd be funny if you were tall? Or do you think that, that's where it comes from?
I don't know if it's, I think I'm funny if I would actually be tall. I think that's literally like something that I fantasize about like more often than I probably should. Is I'm like, wow, like if I was like 2 more inches, I could totally see over that refrigerator. Like I fantasize about those types of things.
Yeah, that would be that's a great goal to have.
Yeah,
it's
2 inches, baby.
And you actually, what's interesting is you also work here in the front. At Wise Guys, which. Tell me about that, like, as far as, your set tonight, you saw everybody coming, like, you basically had to sell them tickets or take their admission or whatever. Is that, do you feel like you use that to your advantage, or is it something
definitely.
like you try to hide?
No.
I did the same thing. I mean, I was a doorman, so that's why go ahead.
Okay, so the way I look at being a doorman, first of all, I think Brian knows, like, I'm pretty much a nice guy, like, that's, if anyone would ask, like, I'm pretty sure that's what they would say. Yeah. But I feel like if I give like people who come up like that world-class service, like, hey, how you doing? Like, oh, I'm so fucking happy to see you. By the time they see me, they're like, that was that friendly face I saw earlier. Yeah. So at least they'll kind of give me like a couple of seconds before I like, get into my bits, or because sometimes I have a little bit of tendency of like not just going into it. Like I take a couple seconds more than I should. But I feel like they give me a little bit more of a pass in that way.
Yeah, you're banking some goodwill.
A little bit. I'm banking. It's a little bit of a cheat code.
The reason why I asked this is because, like, for me, when I was a doorman at the Comedy Store, like, we had to wear, it was basically a uniform. Like, we just had like a Comedy Store T-shirt that we had to wear, and then we had to wear black, pants, and just basically it was a very blacked out outfit. But I like, for me it was like I couldn't. A lot of the other guys, the other doormen, they would go on stage just in their doorman uniform, like, and I for whatever reason I couldn't do that. Like,
so you changed.
I wasn't fucking fooling anybody. I would just literally just throw a big ass like white T-shirt or something like that over my Comedy Store T-shirt. Like I was,
you can still see Comedy Store.
Like I was fucking Clark Kent or something. Yeah, right. You can see it through, and it's like I'm not kidding. I'm not fooling anybody. But it's like, but it was funny, like how they. Because what I would do is I usually would work the back door at the Comedy Store, and it was like that was where people would go. Like they would come through, I'd check their IDs, and they would go upstairs to what was called the belly room. It's upstairs, it's a smaller room, and a lot of times I would end up going on in that show. And like it was funny because like I didn't feel like they really remembered. Every now and then you hear that whisper, like that's the guy from downstairs or whatever.
Right.
Like, they didn't really register that much, but it was like it would register on their way out. Because I remember one time, like. I've told this story probably a million times, but like it was a Friday night. I get to go on, like there's like it's like a sketch group, like it was like an improv group up there. So they always bring a big crowd because they always have like a bunch of friends that they bring to see them. So it's like I go up, I kill it for like I had like a 10-15 minute set, which was long at the time, and I come downstairs and I'm floating. I'm like. I did it. I am gonna be a star by Monday. This is fucking awesome. And I remember the manager at the Comedy Store said, "Hey, are you done upstairs? Because the ladies' room toilet backed up and it's flooding into the hallway now." And he gave me a mop, and I'm out there mopping while all the people who just saw me kill it upstairs are leaving. Girls are walking by, going like, "Hey, you were really funny. And I'm like,
set.
Thanks. That's not my pee you're walking on, but and it was like really, it's a way that really, like, for me, I didn't enjoy it while it was happening, being a doorman, but it was so necessary, I think, to really test my resolve, and it forces you to be around comedy so much more. It does make a difference. It'll show in the long run, I think, for you. If it's anything like my experience.
I feel like you do have a good point with that, because I'm already seeing a couple benefits with at least my comfort level, like, because like outside of comedy, and like I'm in the back, like at work, so I don't see a whole lot of new people.
Right.
So this is like a great opportunity to be like, oh, there's more people here. Like,
that's true. True. Absolutely.
So when you had those nights where they're like, oh yeah, John fucking killed. He was funny. You're like, oh, thank you. Whatever. You're leaving. Is that the time when you're like, all right, let me put on my other shirt?
I always I had it like in a cubby hole back where the waitresses kept their shit. Like I took a cubby and I threw my t-shirt bag. But yeah, I'd come back off stage, pull the shirt back off, and I would go back into I'm in doorman mode again. And it's like I'm not fooling anybody, but for some reason I had to change my look. I
feel like I get why you do it. But for me, I'm just too lazy, bro. I'm like, I'm not gonna this is what I got. So
and anybody who knows me would say I'm not exactly an industrious dude. So I mean, it's like it's amazing that I would go that far to be like, no, I got to take an extra shirt. But and most of my friends, the other doormen who came up with me, they just went on with their. It's like what am I? Who am I fooling here? They saw me going, but it's like it was for me mental. Like I had to be. I had to feel like I was out of uniform and I was myself somehow again. I don't know.
You know what? Maybe I'll try that just to see if maybe I will feel something like different.
You know what? You should. Honestly, because for me, it was like when I first started comedy, it was like not only was it like I had to wear t-shirt. I used to wear my hat backwards.
Yeah.
I'd say it was how I started. Then my head got too fat for that. So I started turning my head. And it was just that little difference that makes, early on especially, just little tweaks like that. They make you kind of just feel different and deliver different. And then you grow from those things. So it does. It could make a difference. Absolutely. And definitely try shit like that because it definitely helps.
I don't even, those little things like you're saying is like, I guess I always forget about them until I'm, forced to be in a new position where I'm like, oh shit, I guess I can.
Even with your stuff, it's almost like you were putting on, you already had your work uniform, you were putting on your comedy uniform. You know what I'm saying?
It really
I also feel like it's a mental thing where it's like, all right, I'm dressed for this, I'm switching my mind mode now to this because this is what I'm doing.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. It just felt like I don't know. It just felt like I was coming up in a uniform and I still looked like I was still coming up as a doorman.
Yeah.
And if I put on a different shirt, now I'm coming up, I represent me.
Yeah.
And it's
Well, you know what? I guess now I think about it. Well, that whole thing about me being taller, I cannot stop telling people that I bought fucking platforms, and I don't know why. A part of me is like, maybe I should not mention that so they could think I'm naturally tall. Maybe, but I don't know why I have a little bit of pride in it now. Thinking about it, why am I so?
Look at this.
Guys, I'm tall.
As a comedian, I think you can't resist telling, especially when you do something weird.
Yeah,
it's like you have to.
What? Yeah.
It's like you because you don't want somebody else to point it out for you.
Yeah,
you really you just want to look. I'm owning my shit here. So it's look, this is what I am. This is and I'm okay with it. So I think that's probably why, and it's probably best that you are like that. So
nice.
I'm really funny stuff, man.
Good
And
set,
I hope
man.
you come back
Thanks
on,
for
man.
coming on. We'll have you back on again.
Glad I finally got to watch your set, man.
Thank you guys.
Follow him, Chris Spring, all platforms. We'll have the link below. Thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah, man.
Thanks,
We'll be back.
All right, I'm gonna go to the door.
Yeah. See you next time.
I was getting off the freeway today, and I saw something that broke my heart. This lady was this homeless lady with her kids and everything, guys. She had a sign that said help, and that's all it said. It just said help, and it broke my heart, because that's really shitty marketing. no hashtags. Like, are you on Instagram? Like, you know. So I started up a GoFundMe for her. So if you guys want to help, it's Chris Spring Comedy. You know, whatever you have, it doesn't matter. She'll get it. That's believable, right? She'll get it. It's not going to my by higher platforms GoFundMe. That's a different GoFundMe. You can look it up. It's a real thing. So before I leave, I want to say this, guys. Fuck tall people. Fuck tall people. Wait, I'm one of them. No, tall people are cool. Fuck short people. Anyways, guys, my name is Chris Spring. I'll see you guys later. Bye.
Oh, guys, but I love living in Vegas, guys. Like, you know, me and my friends, we're going out to the bar tonight, the Golden Tiki here. You guys been to the Golden Tiki? Oh, it's a great bar. It's like Pirates of the Caribbean in a bar. It's great. But I'm out there with my friends, you know, and he comes up to me because I was like, you know, we're drinking. I want to do a little smoky smoke. I'm like, hey, man, you got any weed? He's like, oh, no, man, I'm sober now. And then takes a big sip of his Tito's and soda. And I'm like, okay, man. So like, I go and ask my other friends to get weed. He's like, oh, wait. I don't have any weed, bro, but I got some cocaine if you want it. And I'm like, you got some cocaine? Like, bro, I don't think you know what the word sober means. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so I find my weed. I go outside, you know, and it's time to play the game, folks, because here she comes. I see her coming. I'm the only guy outside. She beelines right to me, and I'm like, all right, homeless, hooker, or horny? Let's see. She's like, oh, hey, baby, how you doing tonight? I'm like, all right. She's like, do you want to have a good time? I'm like, all right, still could be hooker, still could be horny. I'm feeling either way. And she's like, oh, you know, we go back to my hotel room and, you know, get some real fun. And I'm like, all right, still feeling. And then she's like, but that's going to be $250. I'm like, oh, hooker, damn it. You know, like, oh, struck out. And I'm like, oh, no, I'm okay. I'm with my friends. And she's like, are you sure? And she pulls out her phone and pulls up clips of, like, her. Like, oh, here's me in a three-way. Here's me. Look at all the ones I'm taking in that video. And I'm like, guys, when did the hookers get a highlight reel? You know what I'm saying? Like, when did that happen? Like, how hard is it in these streets that you gotta shoot? Look at that, all holes. Look how big that one was. I'm like, oh, I don't know if I want to follow that. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, I'm like, no, I'm okay. And she's like, all right, well, you got $10 so I can get an Uber home? And I'm like, goddamn, homeless too? Jesus, everything. She was a full gambit, you guys, full gambit. But, Vegas, what a town.
All right, we're back, and it's just us. Now let's do. Okay, so we had a chance. Yeah, we also did some stand up tonight, and so good set tonight. Let me try to let's see. I love your bit about the woman saying what was it? I'll suck your dick for some meth. That really happened.
That really happened.
Like verbatim. Straight up like that, verbatim. Really?
No hello, no excuse me, sir. Just right up, breathlessly. I will suck your dick for some meth.
Why did she think you were the guy to talk to?
It was me and another fat guy. It was only two there.
Right, it was two fat. She doesn't understand meth, huh?
Yeah. I'm like, that's not how this works, lady. It's just like,
because I think you did that bit before when I was after you, and the thing I thought from that was that, you know, it's like if somebody says I'll suck your dick for some meth. If I had meth, I'd probably just give you the meth.
Yeah.
Because if you're anybody who says that, I probably don't want the first part. You know. But that's wait. Where did that happen?
Right in front of Wise Guys.
Really?
Literally right outside. We were right outside. Like, I think I had just finished my set. And some other dude was leaving. I was just talking to him about a show we were doing or something. It was just me and him outside. Nobody else. And
that's how powerful meth is.
She was across the street. She saw us, hung a hard right, and beelined for us across the street.
Jesus.
Like, yeah.
Like,
she was like, "Those are my guys.
Like,
what would
she do if you just went, "Oh, okay"?
yeah. Be like, "I'll see you out back."
Look what you got yourself into. Jesus, man, that's
but it's
that's
like
fun.
But that's why I love that bit, because it's infinite. Because I have so many Vegas stories like that, where some hooker came up to me somewhere, or some homeless person, you know, like I have so many of them like that.
Well, those are the things that it's like, those experiences that you have, because it's like, you know, you never, like, when you have experiences, or whether it's just annoying or difficult or something like that, nobody ever likes those Like while they're happening, like it's nobody's ever like, oh God, I hope some fucking crusty hooker comes up to me and says I'll suck your dick for some meth.
Yeah,
like nobody said, and nobody wants that to happen. But it's like when it does happen, that's where it does later on for comedy. It does make it's like, oh man, I'm glad that shit happened. Like I'm glad I shit my pants in the 6th grade.
Yes.
I wouldn't have that story. It's like I mean, so yeah, that's funny. What else did you do tonight? That remind me. Because I have a lot of because I went first tonight, so I have a lot of people who they come over and talk to me while I'm trying to watch a set. So
so I did that, and then because then I have a transition in that because I usually have 2 or 3 other homeless hooker or hornies I do, and so I was like I just did the transition.
You might as well do them all if you're gonna do one. Yeah.
But I did. It was a transition bit about my friend saying he's sober but still offering me cocaine. Because I just like that bit because it's a good transition bit.
It is
because I can go anywhere with it. I can go to a bar story. Because like I said, I can go. That I was smoking outside, and another chick came up to me. It's like I can go. Something else happened at the bar, so I like that as a nice because that joke is just a transition joke.
So when you transitioned with that tonight, did you know where you were going after it?
Yeah.
Okay, so you had a plan for tonight.
Yeah.
Okay, you're more of a planner. That's right. We talked about that before. Yeah. Okay.
But then he gave me an extra. I had an extra minute because he didn't start the clock.
You know why? Because he was talking to me. It's like, he's a nice kid. He was on his first night hosting. He was just one that he was talking to me, which was fine with me. It ended up giving you some extra time.
But it was like, so I was done with my bit, and I'm like, fuck, I have a full minute. And I was like, all right, let me. So I'm like, I had maybe 2 sentences left. I got a full minute. I'm like, all right, what do I do here? Do I just say fuck it and get off? It's like, no, I'm going to take this 40 seconds. Fuck it.
Hell yeah.
So I did my closer, but I did like the condensed version.
Yeah.
Which I'm also trying to get which was good because I'm trying to get a 30 to 40 second closer.
Okay.
So no matter what I do, no matter where I'm at in the set, it's like, oh, there's my closer.
It's nice to have that.
It's like I have to have a short one because most of my closes are a minute, 2, 3. You know what I'm saying? Like it takes a little bit of setup or I have a callback or something.
I get caught in those positions a lot of times. I'm like, and still I'm like, I can't. What the fuck? Do I have something here? And you just end up hemming and hawing.
And it's so funny because it's like, especially once you really start to stretch and you do 10, 15 minutes and stuff, and then you get down to the fact it's like, oh shit, like I know I can see the clock. I only have a minute left to my 15. I have 30 seconds. I didn't close. I didn't get to my closer because I ad-libbed or something ran long, and I'm like, so I need that.
3 minutes goes by. Like
I need that. I just need that good closer where it's got 2, 3 punches out.
Yeah.
So it's like I was able to do that tonight with like that nice short, my Grand Canyon bit. But I shortened it down, and I still felt like it had punch. And honestly, I felt like it maybe had a little more punch than it does in the longer form because that bit does trail off a little bit at the end. So, but it's like if it's usually, but
I mean, those things. It's not like you stop having those. It's like you just eventually find something.
Find something to put a period on.
It's like because there's a lot of. I mean, a lot of. I think that's how most bits starts. Mostly a trail off until you get something that kind of bolsters the other side. So.
Well, you do it, and just one night you find it. Where you're like, oh, that fits there, or it's a piece of another joke that you bring over. We're like, oh, that moves over here.
Yeah.
Or even if it gets good enough where I turn it from a closer into a middle or a beginning transition bit, where I can find that space for it.
That's why. I mean, that's why once I discovered callbacks, I became a fucking addict.
Oh, dude, you are the callback king. I wish I could I'm trying to work on my callbacks.
It's so funny because when I started comedy, and I remember I hear about people talking about things like callbacks and all these like technical sort of comedy jargon terms. Like, I was like, I don't think I'll ever be structured enough to do anything like that. I'm never gonna, because I would think because especially early on, you're like, I mean, in order for something to be a callback, it has to be funny at first.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, in order for me to know something's gonna be funny enough the first time for me to go, oh yeah, and I'll bring it back here at the end and it'll be good. And it's like, it takes a long time to get to that point. I was over 10 years in, I think, before I started really I think when I first started doing callbacks was when I think it was when I did the Tonight Show and I had to construct the set with stuff like that in the back. So it takes a while with that, but it is fun. It gives you.
But it's one of the best things I love watching about you because it's like where's the callback coming? And I mean I've seen you call back crowd work where you riffed on somebody and then you brought it back and like, I'm like, oh my god, I wouldn't even have thought to throw that.
Yeah,
there,
those are fun moments, and I really like I said, you become addicted to them, and it's like you become sort of like. I mean, it does have a constrictive thing to it, especially when you're doing a long set, you're on the road or something like that, and it's like, I've had times where I'm like, I go into like, whether it's my closer or something like that, and I know like I got the callback and I realize halfway through I'm like,
I didn't do the setup for this
callback.
I didn't
do the first time, did I? Shit. Or I've even had times where it's like I didn't even realize it, and then I did the line, and I'm like. That would have been funnier if you'd have heard it the first time. It's like it's a mess sometimes, but but you had a great. I know even when people were talking to me, though, it was like you were killing it. So that was
especially with that tight room, man. Yeah, was like when I got up there, I'm like anything can happen.
They opened up for you, man.
Yeah, but especially like my first couple lines where I'm just like I like being out here at night and all this stuff, and it was just like stone faces, and I dropped the first punch and they like it hit, and I'm like. All right, we got it, and I even like did a couple little ad libs over the top of it where that I hadn't done before, which I actually may do. I was like, oh, you guys have experienced the hookers. I mean, that was like a nice little like.
I've come up with a lot of bits that way, like
where it's just
you just have that sort of riff at the top,
and you're like, oh, that'll work.
So it's been fun.
Yeah,
another one in the can.
Another one in the can, as we say in the industry term, but. Like, subscribe, tell your friends. We got all the lists below of all the comedians that were on here, their socials, all that stuff. Follow John Caparulo on all platforms. Follow me, Brian Shinanigan, on all platforms. Check out the Caplets, which is the final product of all this work.
Or don't. I mean, because I'm going to read... I'm working on this. Whatever. Check it out. Yeah, you'll have some laughs.
Just put us in your internet rotation. That's all we're asking.
Do something. I don't know. Just look me up. Yeah.
But I've been Brian Shinanigan.
I'm John Caparulo. And we'll be, if you're in Vegas, come check us out at Jimmy Kimmel Comedy Club. We'll be there Tuesday and Thursday. Well, this won't come out, but Tuesdays, every Tuesday till whenever, till they
tell us up.
Yeah, Jimmy Kimmel Comedy Club here in Vegas, and check the website for all the other appearances. Otherwise, it's been fun.
Yeah, we're out.
Peace.